Hello, everyone. This is Elena, and this reading is for the parents or guardian of the Gemini child. I hope you are all doing great. This is the February reading, and welcome back for any of you who have been here before, and welcome to any new people here. And please remember to subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Okay, so the way this works is I pull three cards for the child perspective. The first card is about where your child or what your child is experiencing during the month of February. And the second position here is about a potential challenge that your Gemini may be facing during the month of February. And the third position, which I feel is the most important position, is what your child needs most from you, the parent. And I will top this off with one card from this deck, and that is going to be advice for you, the parent. Sometimes it's a separate advice card that has nothing to do with the child perspective, but most of the times, however, it is in relationship to the challenge and advice on how to navigate that. So let's get started. Okay, so Gemini is exiting some heavy energy here in February, it looks like. So the Ten of Swords is about, many times it's about overthinking. It comes out of the Nine of Swords, which is sleepless nights. So perhaps in the past month, you observed your child having a hard time sleeping, maybe overthinking, maybe a little bit of anxiety of any new things going on, or perhaps absorbing that. Like maybe it's not even that the child is feeling that, but perhaps what's going on in Gemini's environment is having him or her up at night thinking and in some aspect carrying a bit of a load here. Sometimes this card can come up when there's a transition period. So for example, if you've recently moved to a new location, or if your child recently moved to a new school or a new classroom, or that kind of thing, this can be followed by the Ten of Nine and Ten of Swords, which both cards are about, thinking about, maybe thinking a lot. But it can also be just overthinking in general. It doesn't have to be something negative. It could just be there's a lot on your little one's mind. Now, the good thing about being the 10, though, is that this energy is coming to an end. So you're going to start seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, if you will, here in February. You're going to start to see this energy lighten up a bit if you've been seeing this as a pattern more recently with your little one. Or if you're going through a transition, then you're going to start seeing your child start to acclimate and adjust to the new environment. And again, the new environment can be as simple as a new sibling, right? So, apply it in whatever way best resonates for you and your household. Also, I forgot to mention, you'll hear me say he, she, they throughout the reading, but this is not a gender specific reading. So please apply the gender however best it suits you and your household. Okay, so let's see what the potential challenge here is for Gemini. Okay, King of Pentacles. Yeah. So Gemini very much wants to be in that place of leadership, right? Because the King of Pentacles is very much in his authority, okay? And very patient, takes his time, is very determined, very disciplined. But your child is having a hard time accessing that side of him or her. Now, already I'm seeing that that's already inherent in your little one, because this wouldn't even come up as a challenge if that wasn't something that was already inherent in him or her. However, there's an issue with accessing that energy. So perhaps this move or change, again, it could be anything, right? It could be a new school, new sibling, new teacher, new location that you're living in, or new, it can also be just the landscape of the household changing, meaning parents going back to work or parents working from home more than usual. Obviously, we're going through a lot of that now. But whatever it is, it's getting in the way of his own authority. It's getting in the way of his own skill set of leadership. or hers. And she very much wants to access this. She very much wants to go at her pace, learn in the way that she wants to learn, and so there's this conflict here. Whatever this is not allowing for the full fruition, the full expression of this energy. This is also someone who loves nature and being outside. So maybe whatever this shift is not allowing your little one to get outside as often as he or she would like. I'm also seeing an animal here, a little cat here. So there could be something to do. There could either be a responsibility that's happening, new responsibility as well. Or perhaps this can also be flipped. If it's not a little one who is struggling to come into his own authority here, it could feel like he became a little grown up overnight too. Perhaps there's a new pet that he's now responsible for. Perhaps there's a new sibling or a new classmate or something that's feeling heavy, like the Ten of Swords, because the Ten of Swords is about feeling the burden of something. It's different from the Ten of Wands in that the Wands is really carrying the weight of something. The difference between the two is that this is more in the mind. It's not that it's actually happening, is that they're feeling like now they're going to have to be responsible for something, or the feeling that he's no longer in authority of what he wants to do and how he wants to do it. So in other words, there are going to be like two groups of you here. There's going to either be one group of you whose child, whose Gemini, feels a little out of control, like they can't access their own authority. And there's going to be the other group of you who feels like all of a sudden, overnight, he's now a little grown up that has to have responsibilities. And again, that's really more in the mind than it's actual. So apply it how it best resonates for you. Okay, so what does your child need from you then in terms of how can this be alleviated, right? The Three of Pentacles, yeah. So your little one needs to get outside. You need to. The feeling here is more interaction with your little one about what is actually going on, more communication, working with your child, as opposed to being so much of the parent that we forget how to integrate the child into what's going on and communicating what's actually going on. So having them be a part of the process, whatever the change is, right? But this is also, it looks like this is about working together. So yeah, so it could be about working, maybe there's a new project that he's feeling kind of out of sorts with here, like he can't fully control and he needs a little bit more help and doesn't know how to ask for help. Or maybe is usually on his own figuring things out, but really needs the community, needs the family to come together, or perhaps may even need a tutor. There may be a little Gemini here requiring, I'm also getting that you have a Gemini here who's bored and is requiring more mental stimulation, more group activity that will help him or her feel, more more congruent with the group, with the topic, with some knowledge. But I think really what I'm really feeling here is that sometimes I think as parents, parents can potentially forget to communicate with little ones. We forget to bring them as part of the team and instead treat them more like the children instead of like part of the team. And of course, for reason, right? Because you're protecting your little one from grown-up stuff. Absolutely understand that. But this is what Spirit is saying. What your little one needs most from you is to integrate them more, to make them part of the conversation. Maybe have family meetings, but also see if your child needs some help in areas that perhaps he or she is not asking for help in. That's coming in very strongly for a handful of you. Okay, I hope that was helpful and that makes sense. I'm going to pull an advice card for you, the parent, and see if any other information regarding this. The High Priestess. Yeah, so the High Priestess is all about mysteries. It's about keeping information tight, and close to the vest. So this is twofold here. Now, I said earlier, your child needs to feel integrated, needs to have a little bit more information, right? So this is confirming that. So there's some stuff going on in your family environment that's having you needing to keep the information close to the vest, right? And many times it's to protect, right? Like you're doing this to protect your family. Perhaps your Gemini is too young to know the realities of what's going on or why these moves and things are happening. But your little one is obviously sensing that something is happening. Otherwise, he wouldn't feel this load on his back, right? So this confirms, because it comes up as an advice card, right? So it can be twofold. One, it can be spirit confirming, continue keeping what's necessary to yourself, because you only know why you're keeping that information to yourself. But also where it's not necessary, where it doesn't really need to be a secret, where it can be shared with your little one in terms of changes and stuff going on, then please open up and share. Keep what needs to be kept, within reason and as necessary. Keep that to yourself. It's a very intuitive card. So this is telling me also that perhaps you haven't shared certain things with your little one because intuitively it's not the right time. Or perhaps intuitively you need to share with your little one of whatever is going on, but you're not sure if you should or shouldn't. So this is just confirming that yes, there's reason for you to feel that some things need to be kept close to the vest, but then really decipher, really utilize your intuition to see how much of that information you're keeping is really necessary. You know how sometimes we want to shield little ones, we want to protect them, right? And so, sometimes I feel like we may potentially cause more harm, like overprotecting, over insulating, over, like almost blindfolding little ones because we don't want to hurt them. We want to protect them. So we think that keeping information from them is going to do that. But actually, sometimes it can do the opposite, right? Because we're keeping them blinded to information that can potentially help them. So that is obviously, parent, going to be up to you to decipher how much of this needs to be revealed or not. But in any case, your child is feeling that energy. So whatever it is you're keeping, they're feeling it anyway. They know something's up. Okay, so more of this needs to happen, more integration. Now, obviously, you will do that in the way that's best for you and your household. I hope this was helpful, and I hope to see you back here again in March. Thank you so much. Please subscribe, comment, like, and yeah, thanks again. Bye.